Greetings you all. My name is Thulebona and I'm with
Thulebona.
And the focus of our podcast is on Julius Caesar's play.
In the Julius Caesar's play, in our podcast, we are going to be discussing the themes of the woman, the role of women in society, and the role of commoners.
Okay, looking at the theme of commoners, in Julius Caesar, the commoners are portrayed as individuals who hold power, who can decide who becomes their leader and who they no longer want to support. And also, they are individuals who are easily swayed by persuasion. Their support changes now and then, and you cannot take them as your loyal supporters because they can change their minds anytime.
They can be swayed by charisma in a leader, they can be swayed by speeches, they can be swayed by things that are promised to them.
Okay, and then looking at the beginning of the play, we see the commoners, the cobbler, the carpenter, celebrating Caesar's triumph against Pompey. They left everything, they left their work just to celebrate Caesar's triumph. And then we also see the tribunes who are Flavius and Marullus scolding them, asking them, are you really guys supporting Caesar's that he won against Pompey, the person you once supported?
And celebrated. Continuing in the play, we have the conspirators, which consist of Brutus, Cassius, and many more who conspirated against Julius Caesar and killed him.
And then moving on in the play, we see Brutus, who is labeled as an honorable man. Brutus participated in conspiracy, and after successfully assassinating his so-called friend Caesar, he delivered a speech at the marketplace. He mentioned that he did it for the good of the Rome, not that he loved Caesar less. And also, he mentioned that he did it for the good of the Rome. He asked that are there any Caesar's friends there that feels like maybe what he did was wrong, and they said no, Brutus. They started shouting, "Leave Brutus, leave!"
So to add to that, we can just having those points, we can see that the commoners are not to be trusted, because at first, as we just said, that they celebrated Julius Caesar over Pompey. Now they are celebrating Brutus over Julius Caesar.
Yes, and they supported Brutus' right, and then moving on, since we all know that Mark Antony was Caesar's beloved friend, yes, so they allowed him to deliver a speech.
A speech after Brutus.
So at first, Mark Antony played a good game because he acted as if he was siding with the conspirators. So he mentioned that countrymen, friends, Romans, I came here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. I feel like he used excellent manipulation skills. He appealed to their emotions, acting as if he was siding with the conspirators. But things took a U-turn as he started ridiculing Brutus for being called an honorable man.
Yes, using the word honorable man several times until it's lost its meaning. Using the will to persuade the crowd, and all of that he succeeded.
Yes, I think the will part was Mark Antony's strategy to gain the communist support.
The communist support and trust.
Yes, he mentioned that Julius Caesar left land and money for the communists, and after mentioning that, the communists started shouting,
and they went against the conspirators, attacking them and then leading them to flee away.
Hence, Cinna the poet was killed and was mistaken for being Cinna the conspirator. Yes. I think we can link this to modern day South Africa. I think politicians have excellent skills to manipulate the public.
So to add examples to that, politics to have examples of manipulating the public. They promise people RDPs, they promise them water, promise them free land to build houses and all, and only to find out that it's just for them
to gain voting followers,
gain votes, and have a place in the parliament.
And it is usually successful, as we are. Okay, I can say that we are people who are after material things.
I think we can say we are the commoners in the everyday life we live.
Yes, and then we are moving on to the theme of the role of the woman in society.
The role of the woman in society in Julius Caesar, we have the two wives, namely Portia and Calpurnia. Portia as the wife of Brutus, and Calpurnia as the wife of Julius Caesar.
Oh, so in Julius Caesar's play, Portia is portrayed as a strong individual, of course intelligent. We see Portia.
She's a caring woman to his husband, and she could see that her husband is not fine, so she asked him to confide in him about the secrets that they have with the conspirators. And Brutus does not want to confide with her, leading her to her death, to his emotions getting over her. How did she kill herself?
Portia injured ate hot coals. I think this shows how powerless women were in that during that period of time.
Yeah, they had no power. So going on to the second wife, who is Calpurnia, the wife of Julius Caesar, who was a prophet, believes in science, and was more in omen.
I believe that Calpurnia was a loyal wife, of course intuitive. She could tell that something wrong was going to happen. Hence, she told her husband that no, you mustn't go outside today.
It was because of the dream that she had, seeing the statue of Julius Caesar bruised with knives by the conspirators. So telling Julius Caesar to not go to the Senate was a way of her saving her husband.
But nonetheless, we all know how Julius Caesar was. He was a man full of pride.
Yes.
He perceived himself as an invincible individual.
Compared himself to a lion.
So he dismissed his wife's consent and proceeded to go to the Senate.
So in this theme, we can see that women in the play are not actively there in politics. So they are just playing the wife parts, like being in the house, taking care of children, and that's the only parts that they play. And we can see that their emotions, they get over them, because even Calpurnia killed herself. She stabbed herself to death, showing the loyalty that he had to Caesar. The strength that she had. Okay,
we all know that the woman's role in Julius Caesar's play is portrayed in small part.
But I think, in my own opinion, I think it's the same even now. Women are not more in politics. We see politics every day, and like judging the ANC, the front people are just men, not women.
But I stand to differ from your opinion. Things have changed.
Women are we can say a little, it's just 70-30, 70-30. Yeah, the age changed, but it's a little like compared to the play. In the play, women played no part in the political.
Even though they play no part in politics, but I can say that they do play a role. Yes.
That's our podcast, and again, my name is Thulebona.
And of course, I'm Lungile, and
I hope that you enjoyed this podcast, and if you have more questions, you can just tag them in this YouTube channel, and then we will just attend to them.
And thank you for watching.